Hey everybody, exciting update today from Broadcom around vSphere Foundation with an expert within Broadcom. Hamanshu, how are you?
Doing well, Evan. How are you?
I'm doing well. You guys are having a busy summer and this is a busy week. Lots of updates. Before that, maybe introduce yourself and your
Yeah,
team.
absolutely. I am part of the product marketing organization here at Broadcom, specifically in the VMware Cloud Foundation division. And my team focuses on our compute offerings, so vSphere and then related offerings, as well as AI. So that's kind of the area I've been focused on.
Fantastic. I have so many questions lined up. Maybe we'll start with some basics. Maybe introduce vSphere Foundation from Broadcom. Give us an overview, a kind of 30,000-foot view of the product and some of the key features, if you would.
Yeah, vSphere Foundation is a very foundational product. It's a very foundational offering. If you look at, how post acquisition we have done this massive simplification of our portfolio and really focused on the private cloud space, right? Through two key offerings: so VMware vSphere Foundation and VMware Cloud Foundation, right? So vSphere Foundation is all about taking the customer's kind of vSphere based environment and really focusing on optimization. That's the basic paramount kind of benefit or purpose of the offering in this particular case, right? And what that typically means is we focus on a few key areas. We want to make sure that we're really focused on delivering operational efficiency. So if you think about kind of core vSphere, it's been all about back in the day going from physical to virtual, like getting customers the most bang for their buck, making sure that we are providing highest utilization of their underlying resources, so they're getting all the ROI from their investments. And really vSphere Foundation takes it to that next level by adding some of the ops management capabilities that we have and integrating that into core vSphere, and making sure that we really taking the operational efficiency thing, and boosting it up and taking it to the next level. The other key area we talk about is making sure that we are providing a platform that is all about the different types of workload that customers are looking to implement, whether it is traditional virtual machine based workloads or some of the newer, workloads that require Kubernetes clusters and containers, etc. And making sure that the entire experience is the same no matter how you're managing things, basically, right? We also have a lot of key capabilities in terms of providing the right performance for the workloads that they require, and then of course I'll round that out by talking about just security as a key aspect. I mean, it's been a fundamental pillar of what vSphere delivers to enterprises, and has been delivering for all these years. And vSphere Foundation again takes that to that next level by adding a lot more kind of security capabilities and making sure that we're focused on compliance and regulatory matters, etc. as well. So overall, very mass appeal type of offering, and it just makes sense for most customers, unless they have a really small environment, for them to be able to really take their kind of core vSphere and look at vSphere Foundation that we introduced back in December 2023. And it's one of those things where it just makes sense. Like, you don't need to spend too much time. It's not a complicated value prop. It's basics. It's fundamentals. It just makes sense to adopt it and kind of run it.
Fantastic. And maybe compare contrast vSphere Foundation with VMware Cloud Foundation, what many of us were familiar with. Maybe what scenarios sound ideal for vSphere Foundation?
So vSphere Foundation, I think, is a lot more focused towards enterprises with, I would say, small to medium environments, distributed but not massive. As we get into VMware Cloud Foundation, you're looking at the full stack. You're looking at a full private cloud deployment in that particular case, with all the resiliency benefits and all the integration of various components kind of coming together to deliver value together as an overall integrated solution. So the fundamental difference is, like, if customers are looking for, hey, I need to basically modernize my private cloud overall, and with all the different things that come with it, VMware Cloud Foundation is the one that makes sense. And if you're looking at, hey, I'm running a solid virtualized environment and I want to take it to that next level, I really want to get the most bang for my buck. I want to optimize things. I want to be super efficient in how I'm running and making sure that I have the best compute platform the world has to offer today. I'll admit to being biased, but I'll hold my stance on that. And that's what vSphere Foundation is all about. It's pretty simple. That was kind of the idea with how when we introduced these two SKUs, it to make it uncomplicated and to make it really obvious for customers to pick and choose between what's the right path for them compared to before when we had a lot of different offerings and so many permutations and combinations.
Got it. Very helpful. And talk a little bit about deployment and scalability. What are the different deployment options for vSphere Foundation? And talk about scalability. We're seeing a lot of use cases in massive scale mode and Gen AI and AI, private AI and beyond. How do I scale it?
Yeah, so the good thing with the vSphere Foundation is it's still your good old vSphere, right? And vSphere has been innovating and has been at the leading edge of technology, making sure that that we are meeting the needs of the customers today and tomorrow. So from a scale perspective, from a support for example, DPUs, GPUs, etc., to give that performance boost that new workloads really require. vSphere has been innovating and delivering on that. Now you get the power of that both in VMware vSphere Foundation and in Cloud Foundation, of course. You want to do just on the AI piece. I just want to call that out. So if customers are looking to do large language models, right? They want to do that kind of level of investment, and they're looking for that. VMware Cloud Foundation with the add-on of our private AI offering, which is in fact the VMware Private AI with NVIDIA offering, that would be the right way to go. And if customers are looking to run kind of traditional AI workloads, ML workloads, smaller language models, more of a DIY kind of a situation, then I would say, yeah, they can absolutely run it on vSphere Foundation as well, because core vSphere is still supports the level of scale that you need organizations to be able to kind of do. You can have large distributed environments, multi vCenter environments. Of course, in the context of VCF, it's going to be much easier to manage because of the overlay of the SDDC manager. But you can absolutely do that in the context of vSphere Foundation as well. Because vSphere Core is still going to be able to support up to, like, for example, 16 or 32 kind of vGPU environments with DRS and vMotion supporting all that stuff. If you're looking for kind of modern workloads at scale as well, same idea there as well, as I was mentioning earlier. If you're looking for kind of large footprint with Kubernetes cluster management, you can kind of do all that as well. But again, coming back to the scale aspect and the optimization angle, the idea is that, hey, if you have an environment today that's a typical kind of medium-sized environment. In fact, a while ago we should kind of talk about, hey, if you have more than 50 virtual machines, you can definitely benefit from adding this kind of ops management capability on top of your core vSphere. And so that still rings true today. If you're looking like 50 plus kind of workload, 50 plus virtual machines running, and you have that kind of an environment, it just absolutely going to make sense. And again, vSphere sets the standard for scale, from a compute virtualization perspective in the industry. So we support the any kind of scale that customers can dream up at this point in time. So no issues there at all.
Fantastic approach. And most customers are moving beyond the notion of basic virtualization. They're looking at true modernization. Maybe elaborate around that and what it means for vSphere Foundation, refreshing and modernizing their entire environment.
Yeah, I mean, vSphere has served customers, very well over the past 20, 25 years. And, as I mentioned earlier, we've kept up with technology. We've made sure that we're at the bleeding edge. We're providing customers what they need today and tomorrow. And in that context, vSphere Foundation brings all the latest capabilities of kind of core vSphere. So in fact, today we announced vSphere 8 Update 3. We actually also announced vSphere Foundation 5.2. And these kind of all the newer capabilities are available through vSphere Foundation, etc. as well. The key piece, and as I mentioned right in the beginning, one of the key pieces was around how do we make sure that we're providing customers an environment where no matter what type of deployment they're looking for, how they're looking to modernize, either to modernize their existing applications or build and deploy new modern applications, leveraging Kubernetes clusters, leveraging containers, etc., that you're able to do that in the same way, just like you've been running kind of vSphere and deploying virtual machines in the past. In fact, a few years ago, we had a massive kind of re-platforming effort with vSphere, where we integrated Kubernetes right into the heart of vSphere, which basically
Mm.
meant that you're now able to leverage kind of Kubernetes to manage both your virtual machines as well as your container environment. It's just one way to do it all, and that kind of that brings like the operational consistency, operational simplicity that pays dividends on an ongoing basis, day in and day out. Because at the end of the day, what you want is to make sure that you're able to support these modern workloads. You're supposed able to support the needs of your internal customers and your lines of business, but not at the cost of becoming more inefficient and having different silos to manage, etc. If you're able to do all that, it's just the same way. It's just so much more efficient. It's easier to run. It's easier to manage. It's easier to troubleshoot, etc. as well.
Yeah, you mentioned ease of use and management. Those are increasingly important to customers. Maybe talk about what management tools are included and the user experience. What are the ambitions, the goals there with vSphere Foundation?
Yeah, so what vSphere Foundation does is it takes kind of core vSphere Enterprise Plus capabilities that we had, and it adds on top is we realize operations, which has been kind of our operations capability. We used to call it we realize operations. At this point, it's ARIA operations, and also the ARIA operations for logs capability. Back in the day, this used to be called Log Insight. So the idea here is to take the kind of core virtualization capability, connect, we realize operations, the Log Insight capabilities onto the vCenter, and then be able to have a lot better experience. So there's a new kind of a console experience that we're bringing now, that's going to be available to customers with this release, as once they can adopt and download and adopt it, which is going to basically be like one-stop shop for to be able to
Mm.
manage everything, look at your entire environment, entire footprint in one place, be able to manage, from all the way from kind of deployment, provisioning, troubleshooting, license management, certificate management, all that kind of in one easy way, in one consistent way as well. So that, I think, the whole idea of operational simplicity and efficiency is just, we keep I think chipping at it with every new release and taking things to the next level, and how we can make it a simpler experience for customers to be, so that they can get things done without having to spend the amount of time that you used to before. And so there's a bunch of new stuff that is coming up in this release, but it's, lots of exciting news to share with customers on that as well.
Fantastic. You mentioned security, and the whole industry now is doubling down on security. Tell us about security features that might be integrated into vSphere Foundation, and what's your best practice there?
Yeah, so security has been kind of a cornerstone of what we've been delivering with vSphere for the longest time. And one of the things we kind of talk about is today, especially today, because security threats and cyber threats and ransomware and those kind of things are such a big challenge for organizations, and it's so prevalent right now that having a platform and having a compute virtualization layer that is fundamentally secure and like thinks of security in every capability is very, very important, right? So we talk about essentially every feature is a security feature, because if it's not secure, then you've got problems. It doesn't matter what functionality you're kind of trying to deliver in this case, right? Now, one of the key things has been about, for example, like data encryption, etc. So we've been delivering that in the past as well. Data encryption both at rest and in motion, and that's kind of critical. In fact, as we integrate with things like vSAN from a storage perspective, the storage encrypted vMotion that helps with that as well when we're migrating data and those kind of things as well. On top of that, some of the recent things I would add in terms of security would be around more of the multi-factor authentication, being able to support a lot of the third-party identity providers as well,
Mm.
so that customers don't have to, for example, store their credentials in vCenter. Right? They can use one solution for their entire environment, and kind of disassociate that with core vSphere. So one, of course, it makes things simpler, just much easier to manage, more secure that way. Fewer places where things can kind of break down, for example, and at the same time, it just makes sure that if you're looking at maybe from an audit perspective as well, it's just much easier, for customers to go through, that kind of things as well. Some of the newer things that we're introducing around security, just in this newer release, is also around like single sign-on across all the different components of
Mm.
vSphere Foundation. So it's one shot, and you're kind of good to go. And I think I mentioned earlier around unified licensing, certificate management, etc. as well. So just the key idea there is, it's about like making sure security is part of every capability, and making sure that when we think about security, we are also thinking about operational simplicity and just making it easier to be more secure.
Fantastic approach. Well done. So the enterprise is such a complex landscape these days, as you know better than I. Maybe talk about integrating with existing solutions, whether it's vSphere Foundation with existing or other VMware products, or even existing IT architectures. What are your thoughts on that?
So the good thing there is, vSphere has been such a universal and ubiquitous offering that if you look at
Mm.
the industry today, it's kind of it is the default if you're looking at any kind of on-premises environment, especially, right? Of course, even in hyperscaler-based environments, customers are leveraging VMware Cloud. Customers can actually deploy VMware Cloud Foundation, in any kind of environment, whether it is a hyperscaler or a CSP or their on-premises offerings. And again, it's all about kind of leveraging that core vSphere, strata, essentially, right? So in terms of integration, in terms of ecosystem, for example, yeah, I would say vSphere and then vSphere Foundation, of course, offers the widest array of choices. Right, you've got the
Mm.
broadest support available for the kind of core vSphere platform, and so vSphere Foundation benefits from all of that. I mean, all the goodness of vSphere and all the work that's been done by not just VMware but all our partners over the past decades, to make sure that they are building solutions that they work with vSphere and vSphere Foundation, and that they are enhancing the value that we're able to provide and really meet additional needs of our customers. So from that perspective, it's a there is no difference, or there's no change when it comes to kind of things that work with core vSphere versus vSphere Foundation. So that's a good thing. When it comes to integration with existing VMware offerings, right? So if you look at different kind of components, so we used to have a lot more granular set of offerings. Now we are focused on kind of vSphere Foundation or VVF, and then Cloud Foundation or VCF, essentially, as two kind of main things. But what we have also done in addition is that we've realized that there are these kind of niche important use cases that customers have, that need to be addressed. So one of the big ones is around disaster recovery, ransomware defense, for
Mm.
example. And so what we've done now is we've provided our VMware Live Recovery offering, VLR, that is available as an add-on on top of vSphere Foundation. So customers can actually look at their kind of virtualized environment, their on-prem environment, and in addition to just being able to focus on kind of optimization and operational efficiency and security, they can really take that to the next level, have a proper disaster recovery strategy, a disaster recovery available as a service in this particular case. And then also, probably becoming more and more prevalent at this point in time, because I think one of the stats we heard recently was that as much as 70+% organizations have had some sort of like ransomware attack in the past year or so, which is a staggering number if you kind of think about it. And so we are making sure that through the VLR offering, we're making available the ransomware defense capabilities as well, or ransomware recovery capabilities as well, for our customers who are running vSphere Foundation. So in addition to that, there's more add-ons that we're looking to continually assess and introduce. So of course we can add vSAN on top of vSphere Foundation as well if you want to convert your kind of vSphere based environment into more of a hyper-converged infrastructure. So you can do that too. And then there's additional capabilities that we're looking to as well. So, but you also want to be careful that we keep this a small nimble solution, right? If customers are looking for the full stack, hey, we have VCF available. You don't need to take VVF and add a bunch of piecemeal things on top of it. There's a couple of key use cases that we really want to make available. But as customers grow beyond that, VMware Cloud Foundation then becomes a lot more interesting and a lot more kind of applicable there as well. So we just want to make sure that this offering stays kind of this focused and really looking at specific kind of needs that customers have.
Fantastic. Speaking of customers, they tend to be notoriously private when it comes to deployments, but any early success stories or implementations you can highlight at this point, or should we check back
Yeah, so I
soon?
mean, we've introduced vSphere Foundation in December, and of course, we've got as you would expect for something this sort of a fundamental offering. We had fantastic customer response and
Mm.
adoption overall. The good thing is that the use case here is something that we've been talking to customers even earlier. And what we used to talk about is to take core vSphere and add vRealize operations on top of it. And in fact, that's been a use case that's been very, very successful over time. In fact, back in the day, maybe a few years ago, we had an offering called vSphere with Operations Management, which was, I would say, almost at the level of what vSphere Foundation delivers now, but a more restricted set of capabilities, and it was very successful as well. And so customers realize this use case. It's a very fundamental kind of capability, and so we've had fantastic success in this particular case to for customers to be adopting. It's what I would say is, given that this is such a kind of a mass appeal type of offering, it's difficult to highlight like one or two kind of key customers. But some of the things that customers have talked about in terms of fundamental kind of benefits that we're seeing based on this adoption. One is really looking at being able to almost eliminate downtime, right? Or
Mm.
specifically kind of looking at unplanned versus planned separately in this case, right? So from an unplanned downtime perspective, uh, you know, being able to almost eliminate that and really, really run a tight ship where things are running smoothly. You have a lot of early warnings because of the vRealize operations capability, wherein if there's something is vulnerable, you have an early heads up and you can actually address that before anything actually fails. There's also capabilities being brought in today now where things like vSphere kind of ESXi live patching, which also eliminates the need for any downtime, for example. So that's kind of one area just from a downtime perspective. The other thing we've heard from customers back is that typically, if you look at just from an operational efficiency perspective, they're looking at anything in the range of 75 to 80% of savings just because of some of those operational efficiency, not
Wow.
just improving utilization, but in addition, we're looking at kind of the time spent by IT admins on managing, on troubleshooting, because you're able to now get a lot more information in an easily consumable way, and so you're spending significantly less amount of time figuring out the problem, and you have a lot more guidance available to you, so you're able to very quickly act on it. And so from in terms of like time spent by admins trying to solve a problem, there's a massive kind of decline. So there's some of those things that are very consistent themes that we're hearing back from customers as they adopt vSphere Foundation.
Wow, that is a mic drop moment. Very impressive. What about you personally? What are you looking forward to over the next 2, 3 months as we head into summer? Looks like you have a lot on your plate, to say the least. What's on the agenda?
Yeah, we've got lots of exciting things coming up. I mean, as you said in the beginning, we've had a busy summer. We're definitely looking forward to talking more about this kind of the new release that literally we just announced, the vSphere Foundation 5.2. and bringing that to customers, talking to customers more about the benefits of that, and making sure that we are helping customers adopt that as quickly as possible. As we look forward, we've got VMware Explore coming up in August, so that's something where we're, as you can expect, we'll have news to share, we'll have updates, etc. as well, and that's an opportunity for customers to come and kind of connect with us in person, and not just be able to get the information about some of the latest capabilities, etc., but also have be able to share back key challenges that they might be having to one to many or one to one type of situations, where we learn and from newer challenges or newer needs customers might have, and then be able to kind of take that back to the team, and so that we can incorporate that in key offerings. One of the other things I wanna I'll well, we can probably talk about some of the day is, again, private AI. So that's another thing that my team does, right? So that's another one that we're very, very excitedly looking forward to explore as well, to talk about some of the new stuff that's coming there, and be able to talk more about some of the fantastic customer adoption that we're seeing, and really the core value prop of private AI that's resonating in the market. So I think those two areas are what I'm personally super excited about.
Wow, that is fascinating. I can't wait to hear more. Congratulations on all the success and the hard work paying off. And we'll talk soon, Himanshu. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Evan. Fantastic to be here.
Take care. Thanks.